you today. Today we're talking about lobster. Today we're talking about lobster bait. Like Kelly kind of let out yesterday, we were going to kind of talk about lobster bait. So we're talking about lobster bait today. But before we get started, first of all, make sure everybody knows War Heroes on Water this weekend. I'm at the airport right now to go participate in War Heroes on Water for the weekend. Big parade in Newport Harbor on Saturday. Those of you that don't know, go to War Heroes on Water, type it in, go to the website, hit the donate button, donate to the War Heroes. Also try to be down in Newport Harbor for the big parade as we all go out fishing on Saturday afternoon. We're going to have a parade going through the harbor with all the War Heroes on the boat, so make sure you try to make it to that. It's going to be pretty exciting. War Heroes on Water in Newport Beach, California, and that's what I'm flying up for. That's why I'm at the airport right now. But we're going to talk about bait for lobster fishing real quick. So those of you that listened to our story yesterday, you know my wife's caught the largest lobster in California. We posted that picture. It's all over social media. If you didn't see it, there's some knuckleheads saying it's Photoshop, stuff like that. We don't need to get into that. Crazy though. You guys can pick on me, but don't pick on my wife. I'm telling you, that ain't cool. All right, gang. So I've been doing this hoop net thing for quite a while, taking people out for a living, going hoop netting in Southern California. My website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, has a phenomenal amount of videos on how to properly catch lobsters in Southern California when you're hoop netting. But one thing I learned hoop netting is back when I first started, there were so many myths about the bait. And it had to be rotten bait, it had to be old bait, it had to be stinky bait, it had to be cat food, chicken livers, all this different stuff, rotten mackerel, rotten bonita, rotten salmon heads. And what we've discovered and what we've come to learn by studying these lobsters and talking to the biologists and talking to the people that study lobsters, those very long antennas on the lobsters, those are designed to pick up the electrical current coming off a fish when they start to die, because we all have an electrical current around ourselves, and that's those big antennas are so those lobsters can start to pinpoint where that fish is dying at so they can get over there and eat it. So what we learned over the years of hooping for a living is the fresher the bait, the better the chance of catching lobsters. Now, like I said yesterday, I don't always catch limits, but I started using fresh bait. I have not been skunked. What do you mean by fresh bait, Dave? Well, I always make sure to get the bait when I'm coming out of the harbor receiver. I try to get sardines or anchovies or whatever they have at the bait barge. Try to get it as fresh as it possibly can be. Then I chop it up all real good and I put it in my seal-proof bait cages. They matter more than anything, man. You can't, if you put your bait in the cage, the little mesh cages, sea lions are a very visual animal and they're going to follow that bait around down there all day, every day. But if you can figure out, and like I did, and Promar makes them also, is the seal-proof bait tubes. And there's a black PVC pipe or a white PVC pipe with holes drilled in it, caps on each end. You put your bait inside the tube, you throw it in the water. I like black because the sea lions can't see it. Yeah, they can smell the bait, but they can't see it. Fresh bait, seal-proof tubes, those two things are probably the most important part of this whole hoop netting thing is fresh bait, seal-proof bait tubes, because the sea lions are on you like crazy. Once they can smell that sardines, I will never ever use salmon heads. I used to use them in the old days. What a hassle. You got to try to cut them in half. You got to strap them down. You know what loves salmon heads? Sea lions. They all hope you use those salmon heads. And I know your sister's brother's aunt's cousin told you that salmon heads are the only thing they use. Try sardines or anchovies in the bait too. Way easier to deal with, way easier to cut up, way Way better all the way around, just for the ability to keep the sea lions out of your tubes. But those big salmon heads you strap in the middle of your hoop net, you're just begging those sea lions to come over and eat your bait. And once they find it, they won't leave it alone. And I'll tell you what, if the sea lion is in your hoop net, then the lobster is not going in there. Sea lions not only will eat lobster, but they scare them away from going into your hoop net. So you don't want to use anything that'll attract them. That's why we try to only use fresh bait and only use seal-proof bait tubes, because nobody's got time for sea lions. So that being said, that's my key. That's my little tip this week. I got to jump on an airplane right now in California and go fishing with the War Heroes. Go to War Heroes on Water and check out the tournament we're doing this weekend. This is my 5th year involved. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait to get up there and hang out with all the great War Heroes and take them fishing and go have fun. You guys all be safe. Turn off the news. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those of you on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you very much. Those of you that haven't signed up yet over at Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go check me out over there. Excuse me. And we'll be ready for you for another seminar tomorrow. We'll be somewhere at Dana Point, I think, getting bait about time for seminars. I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you all. And I'm going big.